your lovely hostess, Cinnamon Walkin, and welcome back to us talking. I was like, what am I doing today? Okay, cool. So actually I've been having this video planned for a while, it's just I haven't had the time to do it properly. So basically the thing I'm doing today, it's romancing games, but like more with like couples that are like canon or they seem to like have a relationship of some sort. Either they say they I love you or kiss or whatever. And that's good enough for me. The only couples I'm probably not gonna do. So like if you see like a not popular like for one like Elena and Nathan from Uncharted, I didn't add them because I didn't play the game. So I wouldn't know how like the couple is. Or to say why like if I like them. And I'm also not doing couples just because they're couples. So no Mary and James Sunderland from Silent Hill 2 because no. Um, if you don't know how stuff goes in Silent Hill 2, you should probably play it. And I also am not doing like, Zelda, Link, and Mario and Peach because I don't I know they tease some stuff, but I don't think they actually ever do anything really coupley or have any of that type of chemistry. I don't know if some of these games. I don't think. I guess most of these. I'm putting these together. I ship it, but most of them are canon. So it's like pretty linear, and like no matter what you do, it seems like they're in a relationship. Um, I'll probably start off with some of the weaker titles first. But so heavy spoilers because maybe you didn't even know they were gonna get in a relationship. A lot of these games are gonna be like hidden gem games too because I notice I've played a lot of games that probably a lot of people don't know about, but there are gonna be some popular titles in here too, like Kingdom Hearts and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off the list with Nier Automata. Um, so the couple that I'm doing is 9S and 2B. They both are androids, and they both seem to have really good chemistry with each other. Now, granted, I don't think they might actually ever become a couple, but I feel like it's very highly teased because they both seem to really care about each other, and like if you know the full story, it's kind of sad what goes on. Like 2B was specifically made to kill the 9S model, so every time she gets attached to a 9S model, and like some of the lines and quotes that they say, it definitely like I feel like there's love and chemistry there, so they kind of have that whole I don't know, I guess I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. I guess want to maybe be with each other, or she gets really attached or close to him, but then she might have to kill him because he knows too much. So it's pretty sad. And then 9S eventually loses 2B. Um, and you can tell that he really cares about her too. And he knows that 2B is made to specifically kill him. So that makes it even more sadder because he's self-aware and but he didn't care about that. He just wanted to be with 2B, or you can tell that and I'm like, oh, it's so sweet. It's sad, but it's sweet. So it's definitely one of more of those tragic love stories, which have some of those. I definitely have one on there for sure. That's definitely tragic. So, um, moving on to the next one. I also added Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow. I added this one on the list. More or less. So and it also I guess kind of goes into Ray of Sorrow. It was a GBA game. The Dawn of Sorrow is a Nintendo DS game. It's so basically well if you know any of the Castlevania games, you normally hunt Dracula and stuff like that. So with this, you play a character named Soma, and like if you play the first game, you're gonna go see your childhood friend Mina, um, because an eclipse happened and there's like a shrine, like I think in Japan, where they kind of keep Dracula's castle and it pops up. So he wants to go see her and like check up on her. So they have like, which I guess I should have mentioned the couple I'm talking about, Soma and Mina, and they have a very close relationship. You can tell that they both really deeply care about each other, and um, they're destined to be together because Soma is the reincarnation of Dracula, and Mina is the reincarnation of his wife. And for an example, and like especially in Donasaro, of course, it's been a hot minute since I played Oregasaro, but same thing with Donasaro. But I know I've played Donasaro a little bit more recent. Um, you can get a bad ending in Donasaro, and the way you get the bad ending is because you think his childhood friend dies. And if you're not wearing like a certain charm or amulet to protect yourself from it that she makes for you, then you like lose yourself to the dark side. So, but the reason why he becomes Dracula again is because he lost his loved one again. So you can tell that Mina means a lot to him and he really does care about her. And like anytime he fights, he thinks about her, and like Mina gives him strength, while at the same time, I do believe Mina in Donasara, I think she's like it's like a different castle. It's like a cult group in this one. And I think she's there hanging out with like she's in the safe area where like the shopkeepers and stuff are at. She's trying to help Soma and like be there for him and stuff like that. And I think it's so sweet and cute. It's adorable. I do believe that they're both like high schoolers. I think that's the age they're supposed to be at. I think they're like 18 or 19. Maybe they're about to be in college. I don't know. But I like to think that hopefully maybe Dracula slash Soma gets that happy ending and doesn't get a sad ending and doesn't have to go on a rampage. Because honestly, Soma's a pretty cool character. But not talking about the characters themselves, talking about love, romance. Um, Next one I'll go ahead and do. I'll go ahead and do Vampire, which I played that game recently. I played it last year. The couple I'm talking about is Jonathan and Lady Anneberry. I don't know, but they're both they're both pretty cute. I think their relationship is like a normal like saying like that they have a pretty normal relationship, even though they're like vampires. They're both adults. Definitely Lady Amberry. She's like in her few hundreds of years. She's been alive for a while. But Jonathan's recently like a newborn vampire. And like she their relationship. So like at first, I think when Jonathan sees Lady Amberry, I think he thinks she's really pretty, which I think that's how I guess at least I know with my parents. My dad thought my mom was pretty, so he went up and talked to her. But that's how I exist. But anywho, um, so um they kind of like have this relationship and she's like helping him like get used to his like vampirism and all that. But so like it may not feel like cuz I don't think the game honestly is that long. It's probably like a few hours long, but um they in the cutscenes they say that it's been like a few weeks and like cuz it's based like during a plague and all that jazz and like he goes and visit her house and like it's just like I feel like the progression of their relationship it felt pretty normal too because they eventually start saying like how they care about one another, and they start calling each other their beloved and all that jazz. And it's like kind of like a slow build up of a relationship. And um even though like I know the game kind of has like choices, you can pick dialogue and stuff, but that's something that like you can't choose not to be in a relationship with her. But I feel as like it makes sense that their relationship would progress like that. They both seem to, I think they're both people of science in a way, and medicine. I think they're both people of science. I know Jonathan definitely is a person of science, but they're both really smart individuals, and I feel like they just fit and complement each other, and just their progression. I personally really liked it. It was very sweet, and it like it makes me think of, like back in the old days, like when people used to write letters to each other, to their people. So I think it was very cute. So I'll go ahead and get The Last of Us out of the way. So I'm doing, in a way, this might be slightly cheating because it's with Ellie still, no matter what. Because it's like, I mean, I guess there was kind of a relationship with Abby and Owen, but little if there were a relationship, but that's a little bit complicated. Um, I'm doing Ellie and Riley slash Ellie and Dina. So with Ellie and Riley, Riley was like her best friend, and she, um, you can tell that they kind of had like a thing. Um, well, while you're playing the game, they're just going through the mall and stuff like that, and then they, have a cute little dancing and listening to music and stuff like that, and like she doesn't want Riley to go, um, and she wants her to be with her, and like I think Riley does decide to, stay and be with Ellie because I mean they just kissed and young love and all that jazz. So it was cute. It was nice seeing that. But if you know what happens, it's kind of Ellie's origin story with the bite mark. So it's unfortunately not a happy ending, but I really liked both of them. I thought they were cute. I sad that Riley um doesn't make it. It'd be nice to like. It would have been nice seeing like maybe what their relationship would have been like, but I guess she wouldn't have really gone on her journey. They probably would have ran away together. I guess maybe that's how that would have gone if, Riley didn't get bit or and Ellie was immune. And like Riley has that great line that I like, oh, why don't we just like lose our heads? It's been a while since I've played it, but like lose our heads together and just hang out or something like that, like whenever they get the zombies. But I don't know if I'm quoting it right. I'm probably not quoting it right. It's been a hot minute since I've played Left Behind, but it was pretty good. And then so Ellie and Dina, their relationship's pretty realistic. Um, they for apocalypse. Luckily, we're not going through something like that. I don't want to deal with zombies or anything like that. I don't care what people say. A lot of gamers will be like, "Oh, I'm so ready for the zombie apocalypse." No, you're not. All you do is press X to dodge or R2 to shoot. I don't know if you've actually, you know, pretty sure we would not be okay. So, besides that, Dina, I like how their relationship progresses. Progresses from like the dance thing, and then like Dina being by Ellie's side, just trying to make sure she's okay and like helping her out with her revenge mission. And then they both have like their issues, like they both have like their hills they overcome, and then they get into fights, which I honestly like. I think I kind of like that more in games nowadays. It's probably like if I ever do get the chance to play Uncharted, because I have played a little bit Uncharted, but I like it when relationships kind of like because relationships, um, like I know in some games and in some movies, they'll make it seem like it's perfect and it's like a fairy tale. Maybe they'll have like one little like issue, but it's normally like in movies, then they fix it. But they have like they have their issues and their fights and all that jazz, and I believe they like work it out through in the end. The only thing is I know Ellie has that farm thing, and she did end up choosing revenge over her family, and Dina didn't want to deal with that or wait for her. But I like to believe in the theory that hopefully, since Ellie wasn't wearing the bracelet, maybe she found Dina or went back to Jackson, and hopefully they're together and they worked things out. I would like to legit believe that, and I feel like for Ellie that would be a good chapter to end on, because I don't really know what else you could do for Ellie. I mean, other than maybe like she's the one person they know that is immune in the world, but I really believe that there's probably other people out in the Last of Us universe that's immune. Then they can like maybe do that, but that'd be the only way I can see them kind of like, I guess, doing a story with Ellie is if they were to try and force the immunity thing or whatever. But I'd like to believe that maybe their chapter ends and they just live in Jackson peacefully, and um helps raise Dina's kid. And because they honestly they did have a pretty good life with their farm on the family, and it was very sweet. It was very homey, and it's probably the best thing that you can get out of the apocalypse. So I I liked their relationship a lot, and it felt really real. I guess that's one thing about the game with that game though, is a lot of the emotions that you feel and go through, it feels really real. Besides the other stuff, but all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on to the next one. I guess since I'm on a horror train, let's go ahead and do Dead Space. So I'm doing the couple is Isaac and Ellie. Isaac and Nicole. I saw a list that said, like, while I was trying to get ideas and was doing research, it was like um Isaac and Nicole. And at first, like, I kind of forgot that what Ellie's name was, and I was like, oh yeah, they were actually really, really cute and stuff. And I was like, wait, Nicole's the one that's dead. What the F? That's not a good couple. You're saying his hallucinations are romantic? Uh-uh. And they even put it for Dead Space 2. It wasn't like for Dead Space 1. Like maybe if you put it for Dead Space 1, I can maybe kind of slightly forgive you a little bit cuz you didn't know, but once you play the game, you know. So but so the thing is though, I'm always gonna target Dead Space 2. I'm honestly thinking about probably making another like romance canon couple video one of these things, because I noticed that I've probably missed some games here and there, and I know there's some games that I haven't played, but um I haven't really played a lot of Dead Space 3. I've only played a little bit of Dead Space 3, and I know Isaac and Ellie, they hook up at some point, and then I'll just assume the reason why their relationship fails is probably because of Isaac and his trauma with the markers and stuff. That's my only guess. I assume that's what it is, but I'm really not 100% sure. But during Dead Space 2, which they kind of go through the classic, a lot of video games, honestly, especially RPGs, they make your character go through a journey, and most of the time you have like another, but more or less they try to survive. So they're like both going through something horrible, but while they are on their journey and talking to each other, they both like they have friendly banter, and they seem to have really good chemistry, and Ellie doesn't want to leave Isaac behind towards the end of the game. So I guess like probably after she saves him, they I don't know if they hooked up automatically right after all that shit happened, but they definitely had some chemistry, and I really liked the chemistry, and it was very cute. Like they had like it was a lot of like friendly, flirty banter, and like there was this one part where Isaac's like, I bet I can fix and get that. And she's like, what'd she say? And like, nothing, don't worry about it. And she's like, I can get it. And then you as a character, you fixed and get the thing going, but she doesn't know about it and she thinks she did it. And he's like, yeah. So I thought that was cute. Again, it's kind of like more of those little adult relationships, which I would like to see how they do or go about it in Dead Space 3, because it kind of would fit into the whole, I don't know if they hook up in Dead Space 3 again. I like to think they probably do. I'm gonna be optimistic. Hopefully, like she wants to be with him again. Hopefully, I don't know what caused them to not be together. Like I said, I assume it's Isaac's trauma, but I've been liking a lot of because it would fall into the something must have happened, and relationships aren't perfect, even though. So I'd like to see what happens and then things work out. And the main reason why I'm doing Kingdom Hearts is because I feel like the whole game, no matter what, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna hook up in the end, whenever. It's probably gonna take a few years, but it would be Kairi and Sora that I'm talking about, cause like the whole game, it's you playing Sora, and you can tell he really cares about Kairi. And I mean, the main reason why you go on your adventure is for Kairi, and there's just been moments in the game he'll think, of course, he'll think about Kairi and Riku, and that's why. I mean, who knows? Maybe Sora and Riku. Maybe I'm wrong, but um, for sure, like you could tell, like, and the main reason why I added it on the list was because of the third game. Because in the third game, there's these fruits on their island, and I think it's called a papapu fruit. I could be wrong. I know it's like a star-shaped fruit, and it specifically grows on Destiny Island. And if you share it with like your friend or someone you care about, it's basically kind of, in a way, I kind of see it like as a little bit of a love confession, because you're kind of trying to say like, hey, I want to be with you, or we'll forever be fated in each other's lives. And Kairi finds the fruit and she gives it to Sora, and there was just like, there were so many moments in the Kingdom Hearts series that like Kairi's trying to get better at, like, she wants to be a Keyblade wielder for Sora, and then Sora, I mean, like in the first game he specifically went on a journey to try and go find his friends Kairi and Riku, and you can tell that he was like, Kairi, I'm trying to find her. And like, and if you want to go by the classic Disney formula too, Kairi is a princess. So what does that make Sora? More than likely, he's probably the knight in shining armor, of course. And I think they're adorable and cute. So that one, the thing is, I know I was a little mixed about adding that one. Of course, same thing with Nier Automata, because like I know for sure I don't really know if they actually like be a couple, but like I just feel like it's too strong, and I feel like that's probably what's gonna happen. The only thing is I haven't played the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3, so I might be missing something on there. And then I know Melody of Memory came out as well, but I just feel like it's too strong. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and do Spider-Man on PS4. Spider-Man on PS4. So again, that's another like relationship that I like. I mean, I've always been a Mary Jane and Peter Parker shipper. Not gonna lie though, Black Cat is very, very pretty, and so is Gwen Stacy. But I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about MJ and Peter Parker. And in this version, in the Spider-Man PS4, they were childhood friends, and then obviously at some point they've dated, but they're no longer together anymore. But they like keep running into each other, and you just like, you can see this chemistry that they both deeply really care about each other. And like, I think what the issue was is like I feel like Peter might have been he was being too protective and like the whole Spider-Man thing maybe was like maybe getting in the way of their relationship because I know that that could have been like possibly an issue and I know she knows that he's Spider-Man, um, but they they develop over time and they kind of like they express what their issue was and all that jazz. But even though like they were telling each other about like you can see in their animated eyes that that the game developers wanted you to see that they really did deeply care and love one another. And then towards the end of the game, they get back together again, and it felt very satisfying. It's not like it didn't feel forced or rushed, or it didn't feel like it came out of nowhere. Of course, I mean, if you know the series, MJ and Peter, the thing, so it's probably not much of a surprise, but I honestly, personally, really just liked how they went about it. It's not like they were immediately already like I played some Spider-Man games where like they're already together and they're a couple and they're like in high school. And I guess another thing is again it's an adult relationship. Like I don't know if Peter's in college in this one. I don't think he is, but like Mary Jane and him are already like they got jobs and they're trying to do stuff and do their best and survive out in the cruel hard world with uh rent and stuff. So and all that. So, and apparently they've lived together before, but then like she moved out because they're no longer together. But so I like how that was, and I just thought they were very sweet, and you get a nice little Stan Lee moment when they eat at the restaurant where he's like, "Y'all two were always my favorite couple." So I thought that was it's cute. I liked it a lot. Um, I'm probably gonna some of the rest of these I'm gonna try and kind of go through them really quick. I know some of them are gonna be a little bit similar because of RPGs, but Devil May Cry 4. So no, I'm not doing Dante. Dante, as far as I know, hasn't really gotten an official girl yet. I know there's Lady and there's Trish, but yes, me, I'm more of a lady shipper. But I'm talking about Nero and Kirie. They're both. It's the classic childhood friend thing. They were childhood friends, and you can tell already from the get go of the game that they both really deeply care about each other, and they enjoy each one other company. And at the beginning of the game of Devil May Cry 4, for sure, he like got a gift for her. Um, I don't really know why he got her a gift. I don't know if it was like I know she was singing, so I don't know if it was like some kind of special thing and he got her for that. I know there's a few books, so maybe I should probably see about reading the books. But and then um she eventually gets kidnapped and he saves her and stuff like that. And then they did have like a little bit of tension in the fourth game, but mainly because it looked like um Nero like was gonna kill her brother or something like that, so she was kind of horrified by that. But she really didn't care about his demon arm, and like towards the end of the game, they hook up. I don't know what is up with some games, but you know they're together because in the fifth game it's very teased, but they didn't kiss towards the end of the fourth game, but they give each other like looks and just like she's like, yeah, I'll be waiting. But it's still cute. Um in the fifth game they must already like be together, and apparently like while I was because I had to do some research because I kind of like forgot some stuff over time because some of these games I haven't played in a while. But um Nero and Kirie apparently like what I was reading in a novel, they like open up an orphanage together, which I think is very cute and sweet. So they're like opening up. It's kind of like Tifa and Cloud. They opened up an orphanage for people to go to or kids to go to. So I think that's very sweet, and you can tell like I think at the beginning of the game that he really loves her. And then, like, I know when he was having issues because he finds out, like, oh my god, I am related to my dad is Virgil and my uncle is Dante, and he's like, I have this family and I didn't realize I had this family and all that jazz. And he talks to her about like his issues and problems, and she's there and she listens to him. So I think she's definitely very wifey. So I believe that their relationship it's very cute. Another one that I have on this list is Spyro Dawn of the Dragons, and um, so in Dawn of the Dragons, uh, it's well the couple Cinder and Spyro, and at the beginning of the game you play it's a multiplayer game. You can play I played Cinder and my sister played Spyro, and um they have this it's like another one of those journey things. They go on a journey together and they both really care about each other as they go on through the thing. At the beginning they definitely didn't. They were like originally I think enemies. Um but it was nice to see that sweet build up when they finally like hook up together, because at first like they didn't like they couldn't get away, or wasn't more like because during the game they get these chains, and like so when you're playing the game you're actually there's like this invisible chain. You can only go so far from your character before the game will be like, no, you're going too far, which I think is, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit smart because they probably don't actually want player two wandering away too far. But as in story wise, it was nice because like they wanted to not be next to each other 24/7. But then towards the end of the game, they end up falling and caring for each other, and it was nice seeing that "I love you" towards the end, and the song that plays at the end of the credits is very cute and sweet. It's very adorable. I like it, and so there's that. So I'm gonna try and like these. I'm gonna kind of smush them a little bit together, but I'm gonna go over the couples that I prefer and like because I know they're not all completely the same. So it's Final Fantasy X. That's a very big one on the list. It's heavy romance. Xenoblade Chronicles, Bait and Kados, The Last Story, and Infinite Undiscovery. So let's see. So Bait and Kados, Last Story, and Infinite Undiscovery, and 10. They're both RPGs, and they all of these go through the whole. I don't believe they. Well, some of them are different cases, but they went through a journey, and their relationship evolved, and it's the classic JRPG thing, and they don't really get to be together until like towards the end of the game. So, Infinite Discovery, I know you play as a character, like, it's Capel and Aya that I'm putting together. I know Aya kind of didn't seem too impressed with Capel at the beginning of the game, and then just their relationship starts to evolve, and, like, towards the end of the game, they both really deeply care about each other, and, well, there's a scene. It's almost like the Tifa and Cloud thing. I feel like they teased something very suggestive. So, and you know that they're together because you can tell that they care about it. I can't remember if they say "I love you" or not. It's been so long since I've played that game. One of my friends could probably tell you because they really loved and adored the game. I just only played it once, and I played it because they wanted me to play it. But it was very cute, and I like Capel honestly evolved as a character, and then Aya evolved as a character too. So like both seeing them evolve as separate people is good, but I think they both evolved because of like one another, because they both like went through the same stuff and had the same pain and issues, but they were always there for each other, and it's just definitely the relationship paid off in the end. Bane Katos. So, there's a girl named I'm doing Callus and Shella, and they. So the thing is like, Shella apparently always knew about Callus, and it's a little bit complicated to explain this. But she had like a dream, and she had to dream about him, and I think since she ever had that dream, I think she was apparently like already smitten with him. So like when she saw him in real life, she was like, "Oh my God, it's the boy that I had a dream about." And but of course, when you're playing the game, Callus is kind of a bit of a jerk, but like he evolves as a character a lot, and it's a really good game. And I don't really want to go through the big twist that's in the game, but they both evolve. To me, they both evolve as characters. Well, actually, I think Shella actually stays the same. I think some of the other characters like that are in the game change a bit, but like their relationship does seem to grow and evolve. Like, Shella's always been very like super caring, and then Callus kind of starts to like warm up to her and starts to really care about her, and then towards the end of the game, they eventually like hook up, and he admits his feelings that he does care about her, and like when she finds out she has to like sacrifice herself, he gets like really upset, and he doesn't want her to leave, and he doesn't want to lose her. But don't worry, the game has a very Disney ending. Everything's good, power, love, and all that jazz and stuff. Um, so I feel like it's kind of around that. And then the last story. So the couple in this one is Zell and Callista, and um, immediately when Zell and Callista see each other, there's fireworks. I don't think they. Well, no, was there little? I think when they meet each other later at night again, hanging out in the city, I think there is fireworks, but there was already like chemistry. Like it was love at first sight. That's the best way I can describe it. You can tell that Zell was smitten with Callista, and Callista seemed to be really interested in Zell already. Um, I think like a little bit they kind of make it like she seems like she's shy and innocent because I think she's the classic princess that's been kept away in a castle, so she's been like very um stayed at home and stuff like I'm trying to think of the word cooped up. Oh, sheltered. There we go. She was very sheltered. But their relationship like so they already have that chemistry there from the beginning, but you can tell like they both trust each other. They both tell each other secrets. They both tell each other their concerns and about like what's going on with the land because in this, which I feel like it's a common thing in some RPGs too. The land is basically dying. Like there's some kind of issue, like the energy. Kind of sounds like Final Fantasy VII a little bit, but the land is dying. I was gonna say planet's dying, but I don't know if I don't think they ever established the planet, but and then honestly, they even get married. There's like a little side quest you can do. It's a epilogue thing, and she wears a really nice wedding dress, and they get married. And I think that's actually and all the other couples on here. I don't actually think they get married, as far as I know. I got a unless Nero and Kyrie got married and they didn't mention it, but yeah. So that's a couple that actually like gets married. Um. So and then it was just very sweet. And like every time I mention one of these games, I'm thinking of all the cutscenes that like I think is very sweet. Like every single game so far. Um Next one is Xenoblade Chronicles. So with Xenoblade, it's Shulk and Fiora. Sorry, Melia fans, but they literally become canon. Cause so what happens between like so Shulk and Fiora, they're the childhood friends thing again. You can tell that they've cared about each other for a really long time, and they both have unrequited feelings. Of course, I think Shulk's kind of sciencey and he doesn't really like think about that type of stuff, but like Fiora definitely like has a thing for Shulk and she wants to kind of be with him and like she makes him food and he loves to spend time with her. And you just and then another thing that makes the game pretty cool is that there's these little side relationship things you do. Um like apparently there was a time where Shulk and Ryan both got really jealous of like Fiora and they wanted Fiora to spend time with one or the other. And um later in the game too, they have a kiss. He like he feeds her by mouth because she's dehydrated, so he puts water in his mouth and he feeds her. But besides that, they have these really sweet uh interactions with each other that they both want to help the other one out with whatever issue they're going through and um there's some stuff that happens in the game where Fiora is concerned that she can't um always gonna be there or she's like not gonna age while Shulk's aging or they might not be able to do things like a normal couple or people are gonna judge them for like how their relationship is, but Shulk's like, nah, we'll make it through and we'll be there for each other together and it's very sweet and wholesome and I like that a lot. And I think their relationship is pretty cute. So, last, ooh, last but not least, and is probably the most iconic, is Final Fantasy X and Yuna and Titus. So, I don't know. In my personal opinion, I feel like Titus kind of had the, cause like I feel like when he saw Yuna, he seemed like he was pretty smitten with her. I could be wrong. I felt like it was kind of a love at first sight thing a little bit there. Um, and that's saying I know he's a little bit already like a flirt. They kind of like hint at it because he was a blitzball player. So like I think he tried to already, but like some of the characters that like are in Yuna's party were like, we're watching you, new guy. But their relationship is very sweet and wholesome, and I mean, there's the iconic kiss scene, and I don't know. Again, it's like one of those. It's satisfying just seeing their relationship evolve and like how they're there for each other. And like, I mean, there's the. I know the laugh thing is very very cringy, but I think it's sweet, and that's kind of something normal. Like, I mean, that's kind of something weird that happens, but like how many times have you done something weird with like someone you cared about or love? Like you probably said something weird or stupid, or you guys done something both weird and stupid together, because the laughs were forced. They were forced on purpose. They said to the like if I remember the scene properly, they were laughing to like I don't know like make things seem like they were better even though they're not. So it's kind of like the whole forced laughing and pain, like oh that's funny, okay, and then they do the little whistle thing where like, oh, if I'm lost, you just whistle for me and stuff, and that was cute. And then like, well, if anyone knows about the ending, and like how I said, Nier Automata had the tragic love story thing kind of going. This one had a very like, oh, the ending. Every time I watch it, makes me want to cry. It's so sad, cause like oh, it hurts, but it was because you can tell that they just love each other, and it's just like ugh. And then the whole her having to be forced to get married to someone else. It's like oh, you want to punch that guy in the face, but it's just like I love it, and he does deeply care about Yuna, and Titus is also like he's kind of like I guess like Callus. He's like one of the characters that evolve in the game because like I notice, um, well, I also notice a lot of comments say like he's very whiny. Like it's always like about me, 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 and then eventually he starts to care about like other people and other things, and like starts like putting himself last. And maybe another reason why I kind of thought it kind of seemed like he was smitten with Yuna is because also when you're playing 10's kind of like I don't know if any of the other games kind of do it, but it's told from like a his perspective, because like the second you see Seymour, he's like, I've always had a bad feeling about that guy. Because you can tell like this whole story, it seems like it's in past tense, like it's being told from a different thing. So like you kind of get the gist that like he's already done this. It's just he's telling the story, which I thought that was actually kind of cool or neat. I liked how they handled or did that, so that was pretty nice. But yeah, those are the couples I got down that are canon. Um, Feel free to mention any other like couples that you like that are slightly canon or that were like actually a couple or a relationship. Um, down in the comments and stuff. Um, if you feel like maybe it was okay for me to add Link and Zelda, feel free to add that down there. So if you like this video, you can go for like it and stuff like that. Feel free to subscribe. Um, I do live stream on Twitch, so follow me on my Twitch. I'm gonna put my Twitch in the link, and I'm gonna also put some other social media links down there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I personally enjoyed it. I honestly like. I'm having like a big nostalgia trip and stuff like that, so I've been enjoying this. And I'm actually thinking about my next video. I might do like kind of like a hidden. I'm probably gonna do one game at a time because me doing all these multiple games at a time is making these videos very long. But like I'm thinking about like maybe doing some hidden gems videos and just talk about them and like why I think that those games are good or like I feel like more people should know about or they should exist and stuff like that. So I'll see you guys later. Bye bye.